Alright, welcome to our first review. Now, the style of these videos are very different compared to how I did them in 2021. Let's kick things off with our very first Playmates figure of this year. We are going to be reviewing today the City Destruction Godzilla from 2014 Godzilla movie. I think I said it a little bit wrong, but that's okay. But this is what I originally thought as burning Godzilla. I've been holding on to this figure for almost a whole year, so it's about time to get this opened and take a look. Let's go into the review. They have released so much stuff ever since my departure, and so this is something I never thought we'd actually see, a toy or figure from the 2014 movie. So the idea of this, I guess he's in San Francisco about to cause mayhem. I'm not so sure, but either way, I'm excited to dig into it. Let's take a look, shall we? So here is what it looks like in the package. And the thing is, I've always praised Playmates for doing this, having an open package where you actually get to touch and see the figure as it is, rather than being completely concealed in a box, something Lego has done. And you can just see the figure as a whole. Even if you don't buy it, you can at least look at the figure as it is in the store. So, of course, the tail is attached. We're gonna have to assemble that, and as you can see, a little piece of his skin is right here for the battle damage part, and a little tank. So, I do want to say, this brand new packaging is awesome. It looks cool, and obviously with Godzilla x Kong the New Empire toys coming, the packaging on them looks really nice, but this, I think, is very clean and very unique, because as you can see down here, we got some of the information here, and we have battle damage review of City Destruction Godzilla with tank. Some info down here, that's where the barcode is, and then at the back, let's see, Godzilla, City Destruction Godzilla tank, Monarch classification is Titanus Gojira, or Gojira, I think that's how you say it. Unleashing a devastating heat ray blast, a skyscraper snapping tail swipe, and the ability to crush armored tanks like tin cans. Godzilla emerges from the dark and mysterious depths of the ocean as a towering apex predator to battle aggressors and threaten the balance of nature. Wow, so good. We got the Playmates, Toho, and legendary stuff, social media stuff, battle damage reveal, and we do have some stuff up here too. Let's read the text. The monsters of the ancient myths and legends are real and battle for dominance across the world. Humanity's efforts to coexist with these titanic forces of nature is led by Monarch, a highly equipped organization of the bravest scientists, adventurers, and military specialists in the world. Now, humanity enters a brave new era of discovery filled with unknown dangers. So nice. But I think that does it for the package. So, after holding on to this figure for months, let's dig into it, shall we? Okay, now that everything is settled, let's take a look at this figure. When I first saw this figure, for the first time, my first thought was, this is burning Godzilla. But I guess that's not the case, because as I took a closer look and I realized, oh wait, this is actually called City Burning Godzilla, City Burning, and the dorsal fins is when I finally noticed, oh, this is the 2014 Godzilla. Sick. I am glad though, because I don't even know if there was toys, let alone figures made for the 2014 movie. I think there was like a little play set where you got a mini Godzilla and the two Mutos, and that was about it. Nothing to this kind of quality. I'm not gonna lie, Playmates has great quality. Some people like to hate on these toys because, yeah, they're toys, they're children's things, they don't look good, there's no designer equity or aesthetic artistic values to it. Well, that is why there is SH Monster Arts, Haya Toys, like those brands are responsible for the fancy, expensive stuff. But keep in mind, as I said, they're expensive. Playmates is making toys for kids to play. So remember, this is a toy. So you can only judge it as a toy, not as a collector's item. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there are some things that I would like to see improvements on a figure like this, even for its price point. I think you do get a bit, but I also feel like we should get more. Keep in mind, this is San Francisco Godzilla. So I guess the orange that's reflecting off his skin is from the flames of the buildings. I think it would be cool if we got just a regular 2014 Godzilla, because his dorsal plates are much smaller. So very different from the Godzilla we have now. So it would be nice if we got in a regular one. But this as a whole, I like the pose he's in. He's in this, I feel like he's like in a battle motion. He's in the middle of fighting maybe another monster or something like that, or like the humans are shooting at him and he's just tanking all the damage, so he's in pain. He's like, argh. So the pose I think is pretty cool. Also having the tail go vertical, go up is, well, I guess it's smart because it does limit the space that they put in the package. So if the tail was straight and it's long, then yeah, then it does take up a lot of space, and it will just make the figure very long. Orange is good. The shade of orange coming off the back, it's a good paint, good application. The paint on the front of his body, I think, also looks pretty sick. I think there's a good balance there, because I think it's a reflection after all. It's not actually him on fire. So they've applied the paint on very smart parts, very smart sections. There's a little bit of paint going on down his arms too, his leg here, a little bit on his neck here, so it's just not one part. And of course there is some paint going on, some orange on the tail as well, so there is some variety going on. So let me get this guy to stop spinning and I can give you a closer look. As you can see, the orange is the most obvious in the chest part, of course, and then as you can see, it kind of fades away as it goes down. And there's also, of course, some orange going on the front of the legs. So I guess that in this way works. It just a good shade. It's a good shade. Just not make it look like he's burning. And then there's a very subtle bit of orange going on down his arms here. Well, mostly from his shoulders, and then it just slowly makes its way down. The camera can focus, and I can show you as well. On the dorsal fins is really where the orange is at. You can see on his spine, pretty much, the orange is very present, and it just fades away slowly as it actually hits his spikes. And then, of course, the arm is where it's at. We got a little bit of orange fading away, and then on the head, a little bit as well. The mouth, surprisingly, does open and close. I actually didn't expect it to. I thought it was just going to be stuck as it is. And then as for the other side here, you can see a bit of orange fading as well. And then of course the tail, it's kind of hard to show on camera, but I'll try. If you can actually pick it up, there you go. You can see a little bit of orange going down there as well. Speaking of tail, let's look at the posability of the tail. Look, you can move it down if you want to, but that does look kind of weird in the end, so oh my god, it's coming off right away. And yes, it is on a ball socket, so there is 360 movability to it. And overall, I think it's nice that they just have it up like this. Other posability wise, we also have the legs. I will say the position he's in actually makes the legs a little bit hard to move, because he's kind of in an upwards motion. He's looking up, so the legs are kind of limited. You're gonna have to really do some serious work, and it just doesn't stand still. The legs become balanced because the feet are also kind of bent, so he can have that balance as he's doing this pose. The fact that you can move the legs themselves is good, but if we do it with the feet as well, that would be even better. Just gives you more options as a whole. You cannot move the head, unfortunately. The head is stuck the way it is, but you can move the mouth, as I showed you earlier. The arms can move as well. You can bring it all the way down. You can move it up as he's like, about to grab something, about to block something. So there is some posability, but he's in a battle stance, so it's kind of limited. And Godzilla as a whole, in general, Playmates doesn't really give his head movability, so that already is a disadvantage right there. But overall, posability lacks for sure, but the visual, the appearance of him doing a pose like this is pretty good. Now, of course, there is the battle damage feature. And ooh, that really looks like it hurts. That looks like it's gonna hurt. As you can see quite a bit of his flesh there. and then the skin piece is right here to cover it up, so you will say. It doesn't really, it's not really too secure. You actually gotta like use some pressure and push the piece in well, but that is what you're going to get. And also one more thing, I should probably show you as well, that there's a little tank that's included as well. There you are. It's not up to scale, but it is what it is, and it looks okay. It can actually spin. That's what I'm surprised with. It can actually move 360 degrees around. That is actually surprising from this thing. But other than that, that's about it. That's the only accessory that comes with this figure. So I want to compare this figure because it kind of looks like a battle roar stance, does it not? It kind of looks like he's like in the air, he's roaring, and let's take an actual battle roar figure. Now there's one coming too for the Godzilla X Kong line, but I have it on pre-ordered and it's not in stock yet, so I don't even know when I'll get it, but I do have this one from Godzilla vs. Kong. So let's show you a little comparison. Obviously the Godzilla vs. Kong one here is 7 inches, so it's slightly bigger. But if you look at the two, you can see the pose that he's in is very similar in a way. For the Godzilla vs. Kong one, obviously his head is facing all the way up. And here we just have him just looking to the side pretty much. So I want to say there is more posability with the Battle Roar one here. Surprisingly, there is more flexibility with the posability, and it's more limited, more restricted on the burning one here, which is quite unfortunate. I feel like that was a big flaw that could have been a lot better, at least in my opinion. But other than that, is this figure worth it? For $20 Canadian, I know a lot of people like to correct me in terms of pricing. You gotta remember, I'm speaking from a Canadian currency. Out of 10, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's not the perfect Godzilla toy Playmates has put out. I for sure think Playmates has put out better ones, but this one's okay, especially for the first 2014 Godzilla movie. They've done what they can, and I feel like it is good enough for what you get for a kid's toy in the end. It would have been nice if we got a little bit more stuff other than the tank. For example, like I said, maybe the heat ray would have been nice, maybe an orange heat ray. I know it's not accurate, but it would be cool if we got an orange heat ray like that, just as a cool little accessory. And I know for the Godzilla X Kong, we'll have a pink atomic breath because he's gonna be pink. But this one is okay. I would say with the many Godzilla figures Playmates has put out, if you're on a limited budget, maybe don't spend your money on this one. There's far better ones out there. It just looks way better on display. I honestly think you put this on the shelf, on the desk, it looks cool. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my thoughts. That is my take on the 2014 Godzilla Playmates figure. It's nice that we actually have a 2014 Godzilla figure, but like I said, Playmates, please do a regular one without the orange, just Godzilla as it is, so we can actually have a couple different Godzillas instead of always having the one we have now. If you want to see any of the previous Godzilla vs. Kong reviews, not just Playmates, but I did a bunch of other stuff too, be sure to click on the playlist down in the description, end screen, or cards. As for now, we are done for the first video of my return to the Monsterverse and Playmates as a whole. Let me know what you guys think. Up next, I'm actually not sure. I think we're gonna do the Kong with chain, the Kong Skull Island figure up next. So if you're excited for that one, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more and turn on notifications so you won't miss that video the second it comes out. As for now, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.